Hello and welcome to Casual Learning. I'm your host, John Bannon. Today I'm going to do a video summary of Chapter 6 of my newest book, Superdeterminism Defeats Atheism. You can get this book on Amazon Kindle. Chapter 6 is entitled, God Gives Meaning to Life. So this video is meant as a refutation of the fourth point of atheistic ideology that I set forth in chapter 1 of my book, namely, we create our own meaning in life. Only a creator can give meaning or purpose to its creation. Humanity finds itself in a predetermined static block universe without continuous causation in physics. In accordance with the zero energy universe theory, one can infer that our static block universe was created by God outside of time. The reason for that is because of the zero energy universe theory, our universe is contingent on nothing. So it must have been created from nothing. But nothing causes nothing. So it can't create anything. Not only that, there's no continuous causation in physics. So why would you believe nothing could create anything? Therefore, there must be a creator responsible for the creation of our universe from nothing. Therefore, the meaning and purpose of humanity is God-given, given by our Creator, because God created humanity and the universe. Human beings cannot logically give themselves meaning and purpose, because humanity did not create itself. Indeed, without continuous causation in physics, humanity is without any actual power to create itself or create its own understanding of itself. Because your purpose has been predetermined by God's plan, you can't help but be successful in life because you can only do what God predetermined you to do. So, congratulations. Just being in existence is success enough because whatever it is you do in life, God has predetermined that that's what's going to happen. So you can't help but being successful. Your purpose and meaning in life is the part you play in God's predetermined plan for the universe and humanity. Now, God endorsed Christianity as his religion based on the fact that Christianity is the predominant religion about God. And it makes sense that God would communicate his will to humanity, and he would do that through the predominant religion about God. So you can infer that God endorsed Christianity as his will for humanity. Now, Christianity is based on the teachings of Jesus. And Jesus gave two great commandments to love God and love your neighbor as yourself. You can find that at Matthew 22, 37 to 40. So, in other words, God is saying, worship me and also help the other guy so that he can worship me. That's it. Christianity does not teach that the purpose of life is the secular ideal of becoming a value added or productive member of society. An existentialist, such as the famous French philosopher Jean Paul Sartre, might relate meaning and purpose to adding value to humanity or society. But Dr. Hanson's version of superdeterminism disproves the existentialist idea that existence precedes essence. Dr. Hanson in 2020, he's a theoretical physicist from Sweden, proved that the universe is a static block universe without continuous causation in physics, using Einstein's special relativity and what is generally known about the entanglement of particles and their exactly opposite correlated spin measurements. So that's a fact. There's going to be a lot of people who won't want to believe that, but you can read Dr. Hansen's physics proof for yourself, and you'll realize he made no mistakes in his physics whatsoever. So if you don't believe what I just said about what he proved, it's more of a case that you're in denial than that Dr. Hansen was wrong. Um, God's knowledge of his predetermined plan for humanity preceded the existence of humanity. And so God's knowledge of the essence of what it means to be human must logically precede the existence of humanity. So, because God knew what he was going to create before he created it, then he must have known what the essence of humanity was before he created the universe and humanity. So, the essence of humanity, this knowledge in God's mind, had to logically precede the existence of humanity. So, what it means to be human has was already known by God prior to the existence of humanity on earth. In that sense, essence precedes existence, as opposed to what the existentialists will say, that existence precedes essence. That is, the existence gives its own meaning to itself because its essence didn't exist prior to its self defined understanding of its own essence. So Dr. Hansen clearly disproves existentialism. In a general sense, the purpose of our predetermined life on earth is so that we can be created and exist in physical reality distinct from God. Otherwise, we're just a thought in God's mind. God knows about us. We're part of God's omniscience, but we don't have a separate identity from God. So, in order for us to actually be real and exist as people, God has to create us in physical reality for that to happen. Otherwise, we're not separate from God. We're not distinct from God, and therefore, it's God that's in reality, not us. God, God, and God's understanding or God's mind and knowledge of us, but not us. We have to be physically created in order for us to exist as beings independent of God or distinct from God. So that's the point of the creation of the universe and our actual physical existence. Uh, our very existence in the universe also happens to be our ticket to an afterlife. Only human beings that actually exist in the universe are given the promise of eternal life in heaven by Jesus. So you can think about all the possible people that God knows about in his omniscience, but did not create in our universe. So you are a lucky person to be created in the universe and given the opportunity for eternal life in heaven. For the Christian, the purpose and meaning of life is to submit to God's will. Considering that Jesus gave the rich very low odds of making it to heaven, then God did not create you just to get rich. Jesus said that it would be easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Indeed, the wealthy often disbelieve in God because Christianity is an obstacle to hoarding or gaining wealth. So there are many wealthy people or people who want to be wealthy who purposely disbelieve in God or give up on a belief in God because it interferes with their plan to become wealthy and rich. The resurrection of Jesus is the keystone of God given meaning to humanity because it's the proof of an afterlife in heaven. The good news is that such miracles like the resurrection of Jesus are possible under Dr. Hanson's version of superdeterminism. A miracle is just another predetermined event that our laws of physics accommodate. There is no need for God to intervene or interfere with the laws of physics in order to predetermine a miraculous event in the universe. So, under quantum mechanics, uh, it tells us that practically anything is possible if you wait long enough for it to happen. So, you might end up waiting longer than the existence of the universe for it to happen, but it's still logically possible. So, the laws of physics allow a vast range of what is physically possible in our universe. And that range includes things that we would ordinarily consider miracles, even bodily resurrections of dead people. All God does is he cuts down on the wait time for a miracle like that to happen. So he allows the miracle to occur in a predetermined fashion in human history without having have to wait till the end of the universe for to be allowed enough time for such a thing to even occur. So God simply doesn't make us wait as long as quantum mechanics would ordinarily have us wait. But God can predetermine any of these miracles in the universe at any time he wants. Um, so I hope you enjoyed that. Next time, I'll be back with a summary of chapter 7 of my book entitled Human Exceptionalism. All right, take care, everybody.